What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? What's up? So, let's get into this love and marriage, Huntsville. And they are taking a break for the Olympics, just like Family Empire is. So there won't be another love and marriage Huntsville until after the Olympics. I think they're taking a 3-week break, which, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, they could take a 6-month break. This show sucks. Can I just listen? I don't want to feel like I'm always coming down here and complaining, because then people will be like, well, why are you reviewing the show if you don't have nothing nice to say about it? Y'all know I took a year break, right? I took a season and a half long break, however long it was. And I decided to come back because there was really nothing else going on. I didn't have nothing to review. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and go on back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all, this show is bad. This episode was like watching paint dry. Every scene was weird and awkward, and it was so chopped up that there was no flow to it. I don't know if the conversations are just this boring, or if the editing is so bad that it's so chopped up. So, for example, we're going to get to it later on, but any scene that Trish is in, I feel like it's so chopped up. And I don't know if it's because she's not giving them what they want from her or what, but it's just not good. It's just not good, y'all. So I'm just going through. I'm sorry that, you haven't watched. You're here for my review. Well, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you. The show was boring. Yeah, Miss Sharon, this episode was definitely boring. And it wasn't boring because there was no action. Like, it's not because, people weren't yelling. No, it was just the conversations were boring. So, like this, I already told y'all, I love Stormy. I know a lot of people don't rock with Stormy, but I like Stormy. But Stormy, every scene with Stormy and Courtney it does not flow. And I don't think it's because they don't have chemistry. I think they really, truly, as a couple, have chemistry. I think really, truly, as a couple, they're in love. I mean, I believe that, right? But it's like they're so conscious of the camera, and I think they're so conscious of what they're saying. Because let's be clear. Listen, let's call a thing a thing. Two things. The first thing is, Stormy has been burnt, right? Stormy came on this show as Melody's friend. Now, we know that they weren't really best friends in real life, but they were cool, and that's how she came on the show. And the minute she did anything that went against what people thought she should have been loyal to Melody, she got pounced on, right? And I think she is so conscious of the cameras and of her words now that the conversations are just so stagnant. They're like this. What up, Cookie? The conversations are like this, right? And Courtney he just here to get a check. I think he just there to support his wife. I don't think he could care less. I think he could care less about anything as it relates to filming a show. I think he's over it, right? But I think he is still there to support his wife. So these conversations with the two of them are just so, yeah. So Martell came by the warehouse. I think he was looking for you. So I asked him about Trish. Courtney don't give a damn about Martell coming by that warehouse or Trish. Him and Martell ain't friends in real life. And he don't care nothing about Trish. And you saw when Stormy brought up about him lying about knowing Trish and Trish coming to the house and this, that, and the other. Y'all saw when he was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the other warehouse because that ain't got nothing to do with me. Courtney could care less about any of this stuff. He does not care. And we find out, let me just get to the episode, child. We find out that Stormy has been invited back to TikTok. Now, we know that since this time, Stormy has broken the TikTok internet, right? Her body glaze have, out. I think she was the number one. She sold the most units in one live on TikTok, like in the history of TikTok. She sold over 1 million units of body glaze. And if you go on TikTok and you scroll through TikTok, her body glaze is everywhere. Like a lot of the content creators that get paid to do content on, they get paid to advertise on TikTok. They all do a body glaze commercial, like all of them. I'm about to do me one. I'll be quiet as kept. I'm about to really get back. I'm about to really get into doing more TikTok. But anyway, and I'm definitely gonna do a body glaze one. Okay. And then they brought up the whole Martell thing. So Martell finally admitted that him and Trish do know each other and that Trish done been to the house. So she's telling Courtney about it. And Courtney was like, nah, when we went bowling, Martell said he knew her. But Martell ain't saying nothing about her coming to the crib or nothing like that. And he was like, and I'm going over to the other warehouse. I ain't got nothing. I'm done. I'm deuces. Okay. So then we see Martell with Destiny. Y'all, and I know a lot of people don't like Destiny either. And I had my moments, but Destiny got on my nerves too. Y'all think Destiny is such a beautiful young lady. Destiny is beautiful to me. I think she is absolutely gorgeous. And I hate that I feel like she is so desperate for a paycheck that she is subjecting herself to this bullshit. Because that's what it is. It is bullshit. So Martell is explaining to her that he showed the house. You like the body glaze. You have several fragrances. I'm going to order me some, Angela. I'll probably order me some this week. I'm definitely going to order me some, and I'm definitely going to do me a little TikTok about it. I sure am. What does she mean by I never made it over there, though? Who? Who you talking about? Handy, tell me who you talking about, boo. If you're talking about Trish, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Baby, if you're talking about Trish, I got a whole mouthful for Trish. Just let me get there, honey. Just let me get there. So, Martell, we went on to see a scene that we didn't see last week where it is confirmed what Destiny said that Moses, oh yeah, we're going to get to that, Miss Handy. We're going to get there. That is confirmed that Moses did name his trucking company after Destiny's child. And pardon the pun, not Destiny's child, Destiny's, after law. And we have a whole scene where he did like what Destiny said. You named your company after my son and the son we were going, the child we were going to have. So Moses wanting to have kids with these women seems like something that's a pattern, okay, a pattern with Mr. Moses. Here's what I don't understand. I've said it a million times and I'm going to keep saying it. But for the show, okay, we're going to put that to the side. But for the show, why will you move? Why are you moving to Huntsville, Alabama? Like, if you have this ex-girlfriend that's there, you don't know these people. I could see if he had built friendships and business relationships while he was dating Destiny. You don't know these people. You are only meeting them because y'all have agreed to be on this damn show. You don't know Martell, Marceau, Chris, Maurice, Courtney. You don't know these people. You might have met them. I think Moses might have been at an event or two here or there, but you don't know these people. What up, Tracy Boo? Why in the world? Why in the world are you there? Like, what? So he's telling Destiny about it, and Destiny is like, I absolutely have no idea. First of all, that confession look, Destiny, is horrible. That shirt is horrible. The way them pants ride up on your that was horrible. Sorry, gotta say it. There is no reason in the world. So Martell is having this conversation with her, and Martell is like, well, he still wants you back. He still wants you back. And Martell, the reason why people don't like you is because you say shit like what you said in this scene when I don't know if it was Destiny or Martell brought up somebody being a side chick. And she was like, I ain't no side chick. She was the side chick. And he was, no, she was like, oh, you like, and I think Destiny said something like, oh, like you had a side chick. And this fool says, well, everybody need one. See, that's why don't nobody like your ass, okay? Because you keep saying ignorant shit like that. Like, well, every marriage needs one, or everybody needs a side chick. See, that's what's wrong with your ass now. That's why you sitting over here getting arrested for harassing and stalking your ex-wife. That's why Coleslaw dumbass still get excited every time you decide to ring her line and decide that you want to come around and give her a little attention. Okay, that is why nobody likes you, sir, because you say shit like that. Everybody needs a side chick. That's why don't nobody like you. Anyway. But Destiny felt some kind of way. She said that Martell was choosing to check over friendship. And Martell was like, basically, Martell is desperate. He needs somebody to buy that house. He know them people ain't about to buy that house because he know them people ain't about to move to no damn Huntsville. He filming the scene. He just trying to advertise that house so somebody will want it, okay? Somebody might see that house on TV and say, you know what? That's a cute little starter house for my son and daughter or me and my husband or my sister, my cousin, okay? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to send this information and see if that house is still on the market. That is it and that is all. Because Martell could care less about Moses and all the rest of them. He also continued the rumor that Law was his. Right. Yeah, talking about something. He looked just like me. You're right, Chuck. You're right. That's why don't nobody like Martell. Martell is an ass. Oh, he's such an asshole. Anyway. So we get to the gym. Trish is training Destiny. And Stormy come through. Let me tell you 2 reasons why this was a fake ass scene. Reason number 1 why this is a fake ass scene is because even though they were really working out, I shouldn't say that because they were really working out. But baby, Destiny had a full face of makeup. Now, y'all know I go to the gym on a regular basis. The only people that I see come through there with no full face of makeup is if people are coming there after work. Don't nobody come there to the gym. And again, you can do a light beat. I know you're going to be on camera and you don't want, you want to still have a little something on your face. But you can have a light beat going on. Baby, Destiny was in full glam, honey, down to the gym. Reason number 2, Stormy comes through there talking about something. Yeah, I ain't come here to work out. Then what you there for? Talking about I'm too busy moving the warehouse. Don't nobody just stop by the gym to go talk to their friends while they working out. Hey, SCK. Me either, SCK. Me either, honey. I'm with you. I don't like none of these new people either. And I don't like the fact that we have pivoted away so harsh from the older people. Like, I understand what Carlos is trying to do, right? Carlos is trying to bring new people on without really having to, like, get rid of people. He doesn't want to do that Real Housewives thing where he gets rid of people to bring new people on. I feel like he knows that Maurice and Kimmy ain't really giving him nothing. Hell, he know Marcel and Tisha ain't really giving him nothing. But I think he's trying to not do that, get rid of, bring on, get rid of, bring on. I think he's trying to have a rotating type thing, at least until the salaries get to the point where he can't afford to do it. Because that's what it is with Housewives. They really can't afford to have too many people come on and while keeping the old people, because the old people have negotiated these salaries and they can't afford to keep doing that. But until I feel like we might have maybe another season of the old cast before people start dropping off. And I predict one of the Scotts are going to be gone, whether it's Maurice and Kimmy or Marceau and Tisha. One of the Scott couples is going to be gone. I think Melody would leave if she could. I think that Melody's reason for staying has a lot to do with the fact that she's been able to use this platform as a springboard to so many other projects, including other projects on OWN. So I think that's why Melody stays. But Melody is definitely dialing it in. Melody is just giving you just enough to be like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. You know what I'm saying? But Kimmy Maurice ain't giving us nothing. And I think everybody turned so harsh against Kimmy and Maurice with Maurice's behavior. Now, he did say on that interview with Dustin, I didn't watch all of it, but I saw bits and pieces. He said that he was acting out, that it was hard for him to just accept. He was in denial about Kimmy's diagnosis, and he was, scared that he was going to lose her. And so he was acting out. So some of the things that he said and did was him acting out. Here's what I wish. I can accept that. Let me be clear. I can accept that because people do act out and people act out in different ways. I can accept that he was acting out, and that's why he was being rude towards his wife and a little disrespectful, a lot disrespectful. But now that he has come to this revelation, I need him to see it. Now, I know he did the interview with Dustin, but I need that to be the headline interview. I need him to do a sit-down interview where he speaks on that process and how he came to that conclusion. Did you just wake up one day and say it, or have you been in therapy? Have you and Kimmy been in therapy? Like, I need you to send in I need a public apology, because I need you to apologize to Kimmy the same way you disrespected and embarrassed and humiliated her. You did it on the show in multiple ways, and I need you to do it on the show in multiple ways, right? So that's great that you're saying you were acting out, because you absolutely were. But I don't know. I just need it in a different way. I just need it in a different way. They've been going to therapy. Well, and that's great. Let me be clear. I'm not being funny at all. That is great, because I do think that, therapy is great, especially for what they went through. So I think that's great, and I'm glad that he's come to that conclusion. But baby, like I said, I need the apology to match the disrespect. But but listen, I ain't Kimmy. All right. So we're still down to this gym. And basically, this whole scene is about, I think Maurice says what people want to hear, just my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, and he may well be, Kiki. He may well be. So here's where I'm going to give Tish a mouthful. Tish, you a liar. You and Martell are both lying. Somebody told Carlos the King, and I'm not saying the king as in he's the king of reality TV. I'm just saying the king, just being facetious. Somebody told Carlos the King that something went down between you and Martell. You were not cast because you and Ken have this great story. You were not cast because you have this outgoing personality. Hell, you weren't even cast because you are a mover and shaker in the streets of Huntsville, Alabama. Let's call a thing a thing. Like, the people know of you, but don't nobody know you, okay? You were not cast because you were bringing so much to the table. You were cast because you have a messy past with Martell Holt. Let's be clear. This whole storyline with you and your ex-husband, that's a sidebar. And I really think that whole storyline has been exaggerated, because that don't make no sense to me. That storyline don't make no sense to me. Sorry. That storyline don't make no sense to me. How you been separated from your husband for 5 years, and your sister who lived right there in Huntsville don't know nothing about it? I'm sorry. I can understand them not knowing all of the ins and the outs, but how the hell your family don't know that your whole husband done moved to a whole nother state, and your whole boyfriend done moved in? You and Kim been living together for 2 years, to the point where your daughter is calling him daddy and talking about him on Father's Day down to the school, and he done took her to the daddy-daughter dance. Your husband has moved to a whole nother state. He don't live down the street and around the corner. He living in Georgia. But your sister don't know nothing about it. Don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. And I really don't have the energy to put into the timeline. But the timeline don't make no sense. Because every time they talk about it, he been gone a different amount of time. You and Kim been together a different amount of time. You and Kim been living together a different amount of time. I just don't have the energy to sit down and do a timeline of it, because I ain't putting that much energy into it. But if you've been watching the show, y'all know the shit don't match. So I really think this whole story between her, Ken, and her ex-husband, I really think that's a sidebar to what Carlos really brought her on the show for. And Carlos really brought her on the show to be messy and to try to throw some stuff, stir up the pot as it relates to Martell, Melody, and another side chick. Okay? Because you saw when she was down to the gym, and she said when she was over there, and Destiny was like, well, wasn't he still married at the time? And at first she was like, I don't know. Then she was like, no, he wasn't. See, that's what I'm talking. It couldn't be 4 years ago, because 4 years ago, I don't know if Melody and Martell was still married 4 years ago at this point. Again, I don't have the energy to sit there. I'm sure somebody know whether they were still married 4 years ago, but I feel like they were. I don't know. 4 years ago is relative at this point because time it's a time warp. So I can't you can't match up the years with the story with the seasons on the show. But she's a terrible liar. She is an absolute terrible liar because you could tell she was trying to remember what she was supposed to say and not supposed to say. From the very beginning, she can't remember what she's supposed to say and what she's not supposed to say. Because when Martell first came in there and act like he ain't know her, to be honest with you, if Stormy hadn't said anything, I really wouldn't have noticed because she was like, oh, okay. Hey, nice to meet you. Stormy was the one that had to keep saying, okay, this is weird. Okay, the energy is weird. And even Stormy couldn't keep her lie straight because Stormy act like she didn't know that they knew each other. But at the gym, Stormy was like, well, I know they knew each other 4 years ago. Right. So they were still married 4 years ago. Melody and Martell, because remember Melody said that he was leaving out the house during the pandemic to go see Coleslaw, putting the whole family at jeopardy, lying and saying he was going to the gym. He even said that at the reunion. Talking about something, well, my gym was open and Carlos looked at him like he was crazy. Talking about some no gyms were open. There were no gyms open during the like, stop playing, Martell. Child, I'm in the middle of ranting about this show, child. You ain't missed nothing, Yana. I'm just over here running my mouth and ranting a raven, honey. You ain't missed nothing. So even Sunny couldn't keep up with her lie because I could have sworn Sunny act like she didn't know they knew each other. But now, last night in the episode, she was like, well, I knew they knew each other. So it was just weird when he act like he introduced himself and act like he didn't know her. And then, again, it went from 4 years to 2 years of when her and Martell was in the DMs. Then it was when we were in the DMs. Now, mind you, Martell didn't say nothing. Martell, right, was he going to her gym? Right. Martell didn't say nothing about they were supposed to hook up and work out. Martell didn't say nothing about that. Hey, Unfiltered Diaries. Hey, boo. So when she was at the gym with the ladies, she unequivocally said her and Martell ain't never hook up. Never went to his house. Don't know nothing about it. Don't know what he talking about. And I feel like that scene didn't go the way it was supposed to go because Stormy kept bringing it up. And y'all saw when she kind of snapped at Stormy. And she was like, I heard you the first time. Saying it over and over again isn't going to change what I'm saying. And you heard Destiny kept asking her. Destiny kept saying, you sure? Are you positive? Are you positively sure? I said, because she ain't keeping the lie straight. She's not keeping the lie straight. And they are trying to prompt her to what she's supposed to be saying because she clearly ain't saying what she's supposed to be saying. And she was getting irritated with them. Talking about, no, I know, I never went. And then this is how you always know when somebody is lying. And I know this is not a 100% thing. So let's be clear. I'm not saying this happens 100% of the time. I'm just saying. That's how you know when people be lying. Because then she going to throw out there. And even if I did, so what? Well, did you or didn't you? Did you or didn't you? What you mean, even if I did, so what? Well, did you or didn't you? Even if I did, so what? Well, so what is, did you go over that man's house or not? Now, whether something went down, whether when you got there, but see, now I got to question everything. Now I do think y'all was doing the horizontal Watusi. Y'all were. Martell, you hit it. And I'm sure if Ken go back in them DMs and read the messages, I bet you it went down in the DMs. I bet you it did. See, now I don't believe nothing you say, Trish. I don't believe nothing that come out of Trish's mouth now. Because you done changed your story 3 times. Martell done changed his story 3 times. And that's why you on the show. Because again, how did Carlos know any of this? Somebody told Carlos. Whether it was Stormy, whether it was Trish, whether it was Martell, somebody told Carlos. Because they're not on this show and he didn't cast them and then all of a sudden found out, wait a minute. I think they know each other. Nah. That's why she's on the show. She is on the show because they know each other. Trish mumbles and can't look at people when she starts lying. This episode was an unsuccessful mace. It was Unfiltered Diaries, and it was so edited. This scene at the gym was so cut up and so edited. And at the end of the day, girl, you know what it is. Is Martell the reason the husband left? Nah, ooh. And now, speaking of what Melody told, I could see that too. I could see that because let's trust and believe Melody, I ain't gonna say Hope, Melody Rogers, trust and believe she was all up and through Martell stuff because she already knew what Martell was doing. Biden just withdrew for real? Oh, shit. Fuck. Damn. I didn't want him to do it, so I'm not one of the people that's happy. I didn't want him to do it. I did not want him to do it. So we're gonna finish this up though. Melody absolutely knows what she's doing, the exposure. Yeah, I could believe that's a good thought. Now that is a very good I got it, Tracy. Thank you, boo. We're gonna go live. When I get off of here, we'll go live on the other channel. What time is it? Yeah, we'll go live in about 20 minutes over there. Mel, now that you know what, y'all, that makes sense. That Mel was the one that put the bug in Carlos's ear. That I believe. Because somebody told Carlos King. Somebody told Carlos King. Somebody told Carlos the King. Okay. Now we have this other scene that was so butchered and so chopped up, I couldn't follow it either. We have the scene with Martell and Tisha about Black being closed. Now, it hit all over the internet, all of the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector. When Black was closed, they were doing videos about it and everything like that. Let me say this. I swear I did not follow nothing Martell said. He said they have haters. He said something about the politicians. He said something about the religious leaders. He said people that don't even go to Black were the ones calling. He said that they had an issue at homecoming with parking. Like, there were a lot of things that he was alluding to about why Black was shut down. I still don't understand how and why Black was shut down. It was clearly temporary because Black is back open. And he said that this has happened before where people have tried to shut down Black. I do not understand. I did not follow. And if y'all got more information, y'all can drop it in the chat. I didn't follow it. I didn't know if it's a combination. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a combination or what. Yeah, that's how she was suggested on the show. That's how she was suggested on the show, but with that being said, y'all, let me say this. And y'all know, hold on, let me do this real quick. Real quick. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Well, it's more than 2 seconds, but give me about 30 seconds. What time is it? Let's do 2:20. All right. So Black got a bad rating from Alabama Health and Food Department. It's on the website. That makes sense. See, that makes sense to say, listen, they were shut down because the people, the inspectors came in, like what happened with Candy's restaurants. That makes sense to me. But I'm not, this whole, it doesn't, right, symmetry, it sounds like it's a combination of things. And I don't think that all of it is people hating on y'all. Let's call a thing a thing. When you put up the homecoming thing and you said there was an issue with parking, listen, I've seen the footage of the homecoming event. It looks like a great event, but it also does look like there are a lot of people there. You have people outside. And if you don't get the proper permits or you don't get permission from the neighborhood businesses or whatever, it could be a problem. We are talking about, you know, a small town area. For as much as Huntsville is growing, it's still a small, still has a small town vibe. I'm gonna come back to that, Tracy, when we get to Ken, when we get to Ken and Trisha's conversation, because I was getting ready to go somewhere and I got distracted. But I was getting ready to go to now what the husband said about, I was giving her the benefit of doubt about nothing going on between her and Ken, but now seeing how she lied about this Martell situation, I ain't giving her the benefit of doubt on nothing no more. Moving on. So I will say this though. The one thing I do agree with Marceau on, and y'all know I like Marceau, but when Marceau wrong, y'all know I call him out. Just like when Marceau is right, I'll say I agree. Like the clip from next week's episode where it looked like he called them women out their name. If it really happened the way it's edited that it happened, then I'm gonna have a problem with it. But we're gonna get to that next week, well, in 3 weeks when the Olympics is over. The one thing that Marceau brought up that I do agree with, they are a marquee business in the town of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, among Black people. Whether people like it or not, whether people accept it or not, whether people agree with it or not. When you think of Huntsville, if you don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, obviously that's not what I'm talking about because you don't know nothing about it. But even if I were traveling through Huntsville, let's just call a thing a thing. When I'm traveling through, when I travel, y'all know I travel a lot. When I travel places, I am very conscious and I'm very intentional about where I spend my money. I look for Black-owned businesses, right? I look for lounges. I am a cigar smoker. I look for cigar bars. I look for Black-owned businesses that are going to give me, I'm not a club person, but I like to go somewhere where maybe, you know, people could do a little hookah. I could smoke a cigar or whatever, right? If I were in Huntsville for whatever reason, don't know why I will be there, but let's just say I'm in Huntsville for whatever reason, Black is somewhere I would go because I'm going to Google Huntsville, Black-owned businesses, Huntsville, cigar bars, Huntsville, lounge. Black is going to come up. Uptown is going to come up. And while I'm there, I am going to go and I am going to spend my money there because I am intentional about where I spend my money when I go out of town. Now, for people who watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, of course they're going to go to Black. Even if they're just going to go to Black to talk shit about Black, they're going to go to Black, right? He's not wrong when he says, listen, we are instrumental for bringing dollars into the city. Between his businesses, and people can say what they want to say about his businesses, that's fine. I ain't about to argue with nobody about whatever. But he does have a viable construction business. Between him building businesses and being, you know, doing the things he does. Wait a minute, hold on, Gloria Dunn, please don't do that. I don't have no problem with you typing. Please don't type in all caps like that because I feel like you're yelling at me. I feel like you're yelling at me when you typing in all caps like that, please. I don't have no problem with you telling me what's going on. Thank you for letting me know what's going on. But I feel like you yelling at me just now. But he is correct when he's talking about them bringing Black dollars into the city. So as for why they were shut down, it sounds like there are a variety of reasons. But he's not wrong about that part of it. And when you start talking about Black businesses that are bringing something to the community, he's not wrong, right? So Gloria says, Black was closed down because of nasty, no toilet paper, men and women using the same nasty bathroom, and so on and so forth. The health department closed them down. Okay. Well, a lot of restaurants have unisex bathrooms, but it sounds like they weren't keeping the bathroom clean like they should have. Okay. All right. That's not why they wouldn't shut a business down because of a dirty bathroom. I done been to plenty of dirty bathrooms. Now, when the health inspector come through, that is a violation. And if you get too many violations, then you will be shut down. Just like I said, what happened to Candy. It's a rating. You don't get shut down because of one thing. You get shut down because if there's an accumulation of things, and you have to have a certain, I know, and there's a certain window. There's a rubric. There's a rubric, right? So there's a certain like if the health inspector comes in and the bathrooms are nasty, that's not why they would shut it down. Now, if the bathrooms are nasty and they find, like, remember in Candy's restaurant, the temperature was off and they had seafood and they witnessed somebody not changing the gloves and moving seafood and using the same gloves to handle poultry and seafood. It's an accumulation of things. So that's granted, the bathroom may have been nasty when the people showed up, but they wouldn't have shut it down for a nasty bathroom. And a lot of restaurants are unisex now. So there are going to be a lot of places. The more and more we go, you're going to find a lot more unisex bathrooms. So they wouldn't shut it down for a unisex bathroom either. Because there are a lot of restaurants that have unisex bathrooms. Where'd I go? The place we went to in Atlanta, that lounge we went to in Atlanta had a unisex bathroom. My favorite restaurant here in DC, Busboys and Poets, all of their bathrooms are unisex. Let me see. Let me read what y'all are saying, because I told y'all to tell me in the chat. This show was taped months and months and months ago. Black is open. They said already it's nuts, and they're calling, making up lies for dumb reason. Yeah, I knew Black was back open. Like, it was only closed for like a day or two. Black was already, and that's another reason why I know that it wasn't a health inspection thing, because if the health inspector shuts you down for violations, you have to fix those violations before they open you back up. Again, we saw it happen with Candy's restaurant. They had to come back and get another inspection done before that restaurant could open back up. And that was a couple of days. That took a minute. I didn't know Black was shut down. Last time I went, it was ghetto, so I'm not surprised. Ooh, Self-Care said it was ghetto. It was about the parking lot across the street. One time they were using it and it belonged to a funeral home. If y'all don't like these people, then stop watching. Ooh. Honestly, right. Overseas. That's the first time I went to a unisex bathroom was overseas. When I went to, I was in Italy and we were at a restaurant. I had to go to the bathroom and I thought I had been gone in the men's room and I was so embarrassed. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And they were laughing at me. They were standing at the urinal, right? And they were laughing at me. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I went back out because, I thought it was maybe I got wrong directions. I thought maybe it was a language thing. And the waitress said to go one way and I went the wrong way. So I asked again, and she was like, "It's right there." And I was like, "Oh, I was in the right bathroom." Yeah, that was the first time. When I was in Italy. Waste Beast said, "I'm so sick of people degrading. Well, I said degrading, Lord, degrading Black people for one person. Like, stop. We all got bigger things to do, and God is not in y'all mess. And you too shall answer to him." Hey, Really B, miss you. Hey, girl, miss you too, boo. Hey, hey. They shut down some upgrades. Marcel came live to give an update. There were parking issues as well that needed to be fixed. Okay. I had to leave YouTube. Sick of the attack on Black women. I was forced to watch Not the Father and the old shows. Not the old shows. Most of the stores in New Jersey now have restrooms that are unisex, one person at a time. Yeah, a lot of restrooms are going to a more unisex. A lot of newer establishments or renovated establishments are going to a more unisex bathroom situation. It sounds like it was a combination of things, right? I see a lot of people saying parking. I do believe they probably had some violations when the people came in. So I'm not saying that had nothing to do with it. But all I'm saying is, here's my problem. Ultimately, we do not have a lot of spaces for us. We have a lot. We need to have a lot more spaces for us. And like I said, when I go out of town, I am intentional in looking for Black-owned restaurants and businesses to support. I know everybody is not like that. And I'm not saying everywhere I go is a Black-owned establishment, but I am intentional. If I go to a new city, I'm looking for a Black-owned business. to go eat or go spend my money. Again, not saying that always happens, but that is what I look for. What up, boo? Hey, Mims. Here he go. I know he trolling in the let me see what he said. I don't care about women using men's bathroom as long as they courtesy flush. Technically, I don't care about anybody using the men's bathroom as long as they courtesy flush. Prosecute people who don't. Not prosecute them. Non-courtesy flushing and non-hand washing should both be prosecuted expeditiously. Child, it's the non-hand washing for me. I know, Gail, we going live in about 50. We going live in 20 minutes over on my other channel to talk about it, child. I know we going live. That's why I'm wrapping this up right now. Matter of fact, we about to wrap this up right now because the show really won't give in all of this. I don't know. I got 40 minutes out of it. Oh, because I keep going off on rants. So this last scene, Trish finally sort of comes clean to Ken about the Martell thing. She's still lying. Let's just call a thing a thing. She's still lying. She is still lying. She is telling him just enough that he ain't going to go nowhere. He's not going to break up with her, but she can get away with it. Because let's be clear, when she was at the gym with Stormy and Destiny, she said, I absolutely did not go to Martell's house. How you listen, there's a lot of things you can forget about. There's a lot of things you can forget about. And there's some things that are just not on the forefront of your mind, right? There are things that if I don't think about on a regular basis. I don't think about all the people I've dated. Ma'am, shut up. Don't you start trolling me. I know you're going to say something smart. But if somebody specifically asked me, hey, did you ever date a guy named so-and-so? Now I am thinking, did I ever date? And add a layer to that. It's not some anonymous person that they just pulling out the sky. It is somebody that I have literally seen within the last couple of weeks in my presence. You mean to tell me, she said, oh, I forgot. I just remembered that I did go to his house. You just remembered that you've been to his house? The Martell Holt that had the whole situation with his ex-wife, and like you said, if the timeline is where you said it was 4 years ago, he was still married. Trish is a liar, and Ken know he don't believe her, and Ken was right. I love what Ken said. Ken said, let me explain something to you. I don't care nothing about your past. I got a past, you have a past. But what I do care about is you put me in a situation where I don't know what's going on and somebody feel like they got something over on me. He said, that is the part I don't like. When we went bowling, you had Martell's laughing in my face. And that is what I don't like. And that is what I don't appreciate. I could care less if you hooked up with Martell. That was before me. As long as it happened before me, I don't care nothing about it. But don't you ever put me in a situation where somebody can feel like they got something over on me. And that I was 100% with him on. That's all it is, Tracy. She slept with Martell before his divorce and she don't want it to come out. There it is, point blank. And what the period? Trish lying and making it look worse if you slept with Hotel. Girl, join the club and move on. And y'all stop blaming Stormy and Destiny for her being here. She just sneaky and slow. What she came on through Stormy, but it's just weird. Somebody well-known, international known on TV, girl, you ain't forgot that. Right, Parker boy, right. Like you didn't, this wasn't some anonymous dude that you saw down to the Kroger ringing up your groceries and somebody said, hey, did you date him 10 years ago? And you like, I don't know. You know who the hell Martell Holt is. You know everything as it relates to Martell Holt, especially if you know his brother, which both of y'all claim y'all agree that y'all know his brother. You know exactly what it is. And you know he slid into your DMs and you slid back and it went down in the DMs and you went over there and it probably was just one time. And like Destiny said, it probably just wasn't no good. He probably didn't do it for you. And it happened once and you moved on and he moved on. But you ain't gonna sit here and say you don't know what happened. You don't remember. Now you just lying. And I don't like it. I don't like it. You're lying for no reason. See, if somebody lie for no reason, they'll lie for the big stuff. I told y'all that before. Now, I get it. We filming the show, and they probably drug it out, thinking that we would care. But I would much rather that very first scene, I would much rather when Stormy went back and asked Trish after it happened, and Trish said, girl, yeah, me and Martell, we hooked up, and now he acting like he don't know me. To me, that would have been a better storyline, because then the girls would have been on, the girls would have had her back. The girls would have been like, oh, for real? You doing her like that, Martell? To me. But you done drug this whole thing out for the whole season just for us to get to this part, and now we don't believe none of them, because we know Martell ass is a liar. So we don't believe shit that come out of Martell mouth. When Martell said she came up to the house and nothing happened, we ain't believe that. But for her to be like, I never even went to his house. And now she telling Ken, I forgot. The fuck? How you forget? Anyway, child. I'm going to get off of here so we can go. We're going to go talk about Biden on the other channel, child. If you're not subscribed to ReallyBTV, y'all get over there and subscribe. We're about to talk about Biden. I'm not happy about it, and we're going to talk about why I'm not happy about it. And El Teddy is traveling, but I'm sure he's going to make time to talk about it at some point today. So I'll see you guys. And I scheduled it for 2:20. I'm going to have to push it back about 10 more minutes. So I'll see you guys at about 2:30. All right? Mwah. Exactly, Waist Bees. That's when she knew she slipped up, because she said 4 years ago Martell was still married. So, yeah. Anyway, I ain't got no more for Trish. Lying ass. Thank you. There go the link right there, Tracy. If you're not subscribed to ReallyBTV, get on over. That's the link, and y'all meet me over there in 10 minutes. Okay? All right. Mwah. Peace.